Collective, it's Belena, Inspired to the Self, another astrological energy forecast for March 4th to the 10th of 2024. If you are a returning member, subscriber, or viewer, welcome back, Soul Family. It's good to see you guys. I hope you are having a glorious and wonderful week. If you are new to the channel, this is your first time, welcome. It's good to have a new face here. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe so that way you get notified of all uploaded content. A Spiral to the Self channel offers weekly astrological energy forecasts, intuitively led collective tarot readings, as well as collective tarot readings for certain planetary aspects, so say for a certain time frame, okay? As well as daily motivational shorts from messages from your higher self. I am also the author of both fairy tales here. The Princess and Her Inner Voice, as well as The Dark High Priestess and The Prophecy of the Queen of the Unseen. Both these fairy tales can be found on online retailers such as Amazon, Walmart, and Barnes & Noble, just to name a few. Okay? Both of these stories are, I think, like, they're written in the Bard format, which is like in between Dr. Seuss meets Grimm's fairy tales, okay? Because they're written and illustrated in such a way to appeal and to heal your inner child as you read them, with themes of following your intuition and how it can be used to overcome all obstacles, say like spiritual warfare, having to start all over again, being in isolation, and also how your intuition in combination with divine beings, okay, your ancestors, your spiritual team, can help you to heal from all traumas, say like narcissistic abuse, emotional abuse, domestic violence, the word that rhymes with grape that starts with an R, or having to leave behind your toxic family, okay, or a karmic family, as well as how these divine beings, your spiritual team, and your intuition can get you to your happy ending or fulfilling your soul purpose, okay, in whichever way that looks for you. The Princess and Her Inner Voice is in its second edition print, which means that the first edition, as well as my services and products, can be found on my website, which is www.aspiraltotheself.com. All of my information, as well as all my pages, are in the description box. Please do not be fooled by scammers out there. I would never message you first, as well as to be aware of any fake profiles, fake pages that are pretending to be me that are not, okay? All of the links to all my pages, all of my social media is in the description box, okay? So please do not get fooled, do not get scammed, use your discernment, okay? Listen to your inner voice, okay? As well as there will be a link in the comment section for your convenience, and at the very end of this video, there will be a brief little snippet of some illustrations and themes from the book of the Dark High Priestess and the Prophecy of the Queen of the Unseen, okay? And where to purchase if you are so interested. Okay, so before we get started on the astrological forecast, I'm going to begin with a prayer like I do in every single video. I call upon God, Banja, Great Goddess Morgan, the Trinity Three, Lu, the archangels, my ancestors, and the seen and unseen. Please only allow this forecast, which I call upon, which is high vibrational energy and frequency. If any lower vibrational entities, beings, or energies try to come through, I ask that you block, bind, and blind, and immediately return to sender, in which I give you full permission to intervene and to intercede on my behalf in whichever way you deem fit. Please allow me to see what you want the collective to know. Please protect me, the viewers, this video, and channel as I deliver this divinely guided message. Any curses, hexes, evil eye, let they be dissolved, transmuted, and intervened with by the All-High. The sender's mask be ripped off, they'll be unable to hide. All their lies, deceit, and ill intentions will become exposed and publicly known. If you are hearing a noise in the background, you are not going crazy. It is a frequency to repel any lower vibrational entities, beings, or energies, okay? If it bothers you, it means one of two things. One, either you got attachment on you or something's trying to fuse with your aura and energy, but you need to remove it. Have some spiritual hygiene. I have a playlist called Sounds to Cleanse and Heal, okay? I'll add it to the very end of this video for your convenience, but there's so many different frequencies on there to help you heal yourself, okay, in whichever way. As well as, take your spiritual baths. I do sell them if you don't know where to start with that, okay? As well as, make sure you cleanse your space, clean your body, Or two, you are demonic, you are lower vibration, you you like to dabble with things you shouldn't, and you're possessed by something that is devouring your soul, you're not welcome to this channel, and I really hope the sound burns your ears. Sorry, not sorry. You shouldn't be here. This isn't your place. Okay? So, legal disclaimer here. I know you guys may get tired of it, but it's necessary. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. Okay? In the areas of legal, law, finance, mental health. Okay? I am not an expert in those areas, nor do I claim to be. Okay? If any of this resonates with you, you need to seek advice from those experienced individuals. I am, however, a certified Reiki practitioner, astrologer, and herbalist. So I do have a little bit of know-how. So just know that's where that comes from. Okay. But please seek actual, so if it's in the realm of like medical or like health, make sure you actually go see one of those professionals. Okay. So, the astrological forecast for this week, from March 4th through the 10th of 2024. Okay, so the background energies is we have one asteroid, one of the major four, in retrograde, which is Juno, which will be in retrograde until April 21st. Juno retrograde is where it illuminates trust and commitment issues in relationships, okay, in order for us to heal them. Majority, or at least half of 2024 is going to be about healing, because we are all going through an awakening. We are all going through an ascension to higher consciousness. Okay, that's literally the whole theme for 2024, as well as bringing about karmic balance, evening the scales, okay, putting balance to all things. Okay, so that's why you're seeing a lot of people get good lump sum karma and bad lump sum karma. Okay, it's either or. Okay, so if you notice that, everybody kind of gets a little bit of obstacles at the beginning of the year. It seems like we get like hit with 3 things at once, but once you do that, it seems like you're good for the year. Okay, that's just what it seems like. That's just my opinion. Okay, but if you're seeing somebody go through real tragedy, there's a good chance that they were doing some dirty to people and they're getting paid back. So just know that. But yeah, sorry, I got something in my eye. 2024 is all about balance, and it's all about ascending to a higher level of consciousness. Okay, like the movie Left Behind. It's not really so much when we go through the Left Behind stage. People don't just leave their bodies and stuff. It's more like there's those in the collective that's going to raise to 5D, into that higher level of consciousness, of abundance, of unconditional love, okay, of trust. And the ones who don't, say like the karmic-y people who are low vibrational and are determined to stay that way, that like to, meddle in the evil things and think that they're going to do things like that to hurt, harm, or delay people, they're going to get left behind, meaning they're literally going to extinguish themselves. Like, they're going to take their whole bloodlines out, some of these people, okay? So that goes into what the Juno retrograde is. Say in 2023, summer to winter, it was illuminated through Neptune retrograde, as well as it was Neptune retrograde. Neptune retrograde was when the veil was lifted, the truth was exposed. You saw these people's true colors. You couldn't deny it. You couldn't deny who they were. Okay, family, lovers, friends, anybody that was trying to sabotage your life path, trying to prevent you from getting to your soul purpose. Okay, trying to stop your healing. Okay, trying to hurt, harm, or delay you, or end you, you saw all those things and you cut those people off, because in order for those people to receive their karma, you had to get out of the way, which you did, okay? And now you're having to heal that part of yourself of like, wow, say like, my family really tried to, or my family really put a hit out on me over inheritance that I got as a child, and then, falsified documents, and was trying to commit some insurance fraud with an ex of mine by getting insurance policies out on me and then putting a hit on my head. Wow. Right. Wow. Or hey, somebody that I didn't even truly date was hired to date me and to devastate my life and unalive me after marrying me for money, right? Like, wow. Me and this person never had a genuine experience ever. It was all love spell after love spell before I even met them to get me captivated with them. And I spent 2 years of my life that I'll never get back being with this loser, this evil, evil person that is a waste of skin on this earth. Okay. Wow, like I can't believe that all these people who didn't even know me or know my children went out and made false reports to CPS to get my kids taken away because someone promised them a little bit of money, if they did so, or I was just sitting here minding my business and drinking my water and someone went all Dwight Schrute and had a diabolical master plan to take me down, and these people never knew me or really ever hung out with me, stuff like that. Collective where people are stealing from you, they're conniving, they're being friends with you just to harm you. We found all that out, and now you're having to heal that. Okay, that's what this is all about, and we're going through the spiritual awakening. Like, you're healing from it. The veil is lifted to who your friends were, who your family were, who was truly there for you and who wasn't, who was there. People that kept asking you, hey, what's going on in your life? Where they didn't really care. They were just trying to see what you had going on so they could delay it in your life or go back to their voodoo practitioner or whatever to cast a spell to delay you in some kind of way. So things like that, But, we're healing from that, and we're moving on with our lives, because you know what? We learned from it. We had the whole Saturn retrograde last year, which was about the soul lessons. Okay, we learned the lessons. We learned the karmic lessons. We're moving on. Okay, we're moving onward and upward. We passed all the test of faith, the test of integrity. We went through the dark night of the soul, and now we're coming out on top, despite whatever these people did or what they thought or what have you, right? Okay, so March 4th, Mercury sextile Uranus, and the moon will be in Capricorn, and Capricorn is a detriment sign for the moon. So we're going to be facing the challenge that we've been avoiding, as there will be a weekend in disharmonious energies and following our ambitions. So seek clarity in your conversations with others, and you will find your way through to be your most authentic self. Because that's the whole goal here. We're going through, so this week, the chakra that corresponds is all of them, but specifically the crown, because we are going through a spiritual awakening. Many in the collective. I've seen, as well as spoken with other high vibrational beings that are dedicated to the collective, that have also started to go through or experience spiritual awakening symptoms. Okay, and this week is a week of pause. It's a time out and to not overextend ourselves, because we're going to be going through this awakening. Okay, and if it's not happening to you, just it's okay. Okay, everybody does this in their own time. Just as a collective in an astrological period, there's a certain group of people that's going to be awakened at this time. They're going to further go into their spiritual awakening. Okay, because you don't just go through one. You can have many, just like you can have many dark nights of the soul. You don't just go through one. Okay. Sometimes you do. It just, like I said, just depends on the person. It depends on the path. It depends on the soul's journey. Okay, and the only person who would actually know that would be you, right? Okay, because only you truly know. And once you get to a certain vibration, once you get to a certain part on your path, you'll have access to your Akashic records, and you know exactly where you are, where you need to be. Okay. But the ultimate goal is to get to our most authentic self, to get out of the ego, okay? And I'll go more into that later if you don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, so March 5th, the North Node conjunction Chiron. We are going through a rebirth on our soul's journey through taking the necessary actions to heal our deepest spiritual and emotional wounds. Like I said, it's going to go hand in hand with that Jupiter retrograde energy, okay? It's really just been a paramount theme since 2024 started. Okay, it's just healing. Like, we got through all the bullshit. Now it's the healing time. Now it's time to level up. Okay, we cried, we scraped our knees a little bit, we healed, we licked our wounds. Now it's time to level up. Now it's time to get our blessings. Okay, because we went through the bullshit. We went through the dark woods. We saw the light at the end of the tunnel, and we went for it. We trusted our higher selves, and we're getting that blessing. We're getting that abundances for that now. Okay, we're being rewarded. But you got to do the work, and that's what people fail to realize, or at least the low vibrational people fail to realize. You got to do the work, abundance is an energy, okay? And you attract versus chase. When you get to a certain energy, when you get to a certain level of perception and mindset, and how you think and the vibrations of your thoughts, you attract everything that you need. You live a decent life. And when I say decent life, there's value in many things and not just monetary, okay? Monetary value is just something a low vibrational person worries about because they're stuck in the 3D, which is like fear, trauma, addictions, lack mindset, like you're never going to have enough, you're never going to get that, saying things like that to yourself, like, oh, I can't have that, I'll never get that, or I'm unworthy, things like that, okay? But we're in the 5D, we're co-creating with the divine, and when you do that, you have to be of a higher consciousness, you have to be in that energy, that high vibrational energy of abundance, of attracting, okay? And to do that, you have to heal, and no matter and most of it's your inner childhood wounds. However, know that no matter how great your childhood was, everybody's still got wounds that they have to heal. It's just part of the journey, okay? Because of the perception you had as a child and the people around you and how you recorded your earliest experiences. And honestly, this is the most rewarding thing that you can do for you is to heal yourself. It literally protects you from so many things, okay? Like witchcraft and black magic. Healing yourself prevents that because it puts you in a vibration where it just repels off of you. And I know people think well, witchcraft, this isn't Harry Potter. No, this is like some real shit. You know how many grimoires are out there that you can just buy at a bookstore? And it doesn't, and they're all just regular people that write these, and they omit certain things out. They don't include universal laws. So then you got people out here that think they can just curse and hex and wish ill will on people and not get it back. Like they don't believe in karma, they don't believe in God, whatever. To each their own. However, just because you don't believe it don't mean it don't believe in you. Everything exists, and it's just like with physics. What you put out, you get back. So I don't know what you need to read or what you need to do, but what you put out, you get back, okay? And a lot of people have used it as a form of codependency where they can't, or a coping mechanism, they can't handle the regular everyday life, so then they just go, oh, so-and-so looked at me wrong, I'm going to curse them, or whatever, and and because a lot of people are in that 3D, that low vibration, they're susceptible to the attack because there's a seed or something or a wound for that spell work to attach to, and people go through it. If you've ever went to the doctors because you had some ailment and they couldn't figure out what was wrong with you, could be, definitely could be. Say you had migraines for 2 years, but when you go, they do all these tests and they're like, I can't find anything wrong with you. It's not all in your head. It's maybe somebody sent something to you. Maybe there's some mental magic. Maybe there's some dream state magic. Maybe you need to cleanse yourself or listen to some frequencies, okay? There's something going on there. You don't just get migraines, Your body will be your early warning detection system, okay? And knowing how you feel, and that's why it's important to steer away from the low vibrational things like addictions, okay? And treating your body like a vessel and trying to put good in it and thinking positive, loving thoughts to yourself, okay? Instead of being mean to yourself. They say the rule of thumb is if you wouldn't say it to a child, don't say it to yourself, okay? So we're going to be healing those wounds. March 6th, Mars sextiles North Node and Chiron, and then the moon will be in Aquarius. Our intuition will focus on how to revolutionize our life by communicating to us where to initiate changes in a creative way in order to heal a wound that is necessary in reaching our soul's purpose. Again, like I said, your intuition is going to be speaking to you very loudly this week. Like I said, your soul is going to be speaking to you because there's parts of your journey that you need to move forward to. The time for hesitation is over. You need to take action and move. And the moving that you're going to do is going to be healing a deep, deep wound that you have with that Chiron, energy. We've got a lot of Chiron, Mars, and Aries energy this week. And Aries gets shit done. So just say it. We're gonna confront it. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get what we need to get right. We're gonna put our fucking game faces on. We're gonna put our game faces on. I'm gonna heal this, right? And then we're gonna go get our fucking blessings at the end. That's what we're here to get. Okay, we're gonna put the game faces on. We're gonna power through it, We're not going to overextend though, because this is also a time of resilience that's needed, because like I said, you're going through the spiritual awakening. So you're going to have symptoms there, and your body's going to be going through some stuff. So that means you need to conserve your energy. You need to, make sure you're drinking water especially. Maybe you don't, use any kind of substances like alcohol, smoking, caffeine, anything like that, sugar, doing things like that. Really taking care of yourself, showing yourself some self-love and self-priority, and taking care of your needs, okay? Because you're going to be going through a lot this week, okay? With this spiritual awakening, you're going to be feeling it, and like I said, but your mind, your soul is going to be like, no, we're getting this done. Like, body, sit down. We're going to be healing some shit. That's what we're doing this week, okay? Now, March 7, the sun will opposition Lilith, so there's going to be an intense drive to face our shadows that makes us overly critical of ourselves, as the idea will present itself in a mystical way. Do not force the issue in the process. Proceed slowly in order to receive the knowledge. Okay, so do not force the issue. Don't try to force yourself like, where's my wound? Okay, you're not going to do that. It's going to come to you in a mystical way, which means like dreams, visions, synchronicities, okay? Where your intuition is going to go, here's a shadow aspect of ourselves, okay? A shadow is a part that we've repressed. It's a part of us that, was used to defend us when we were dealing with some kind of trauma, okay? Say if you were a child and no one validated your feelings, okay? That would be a shadow part of yourself. You've created some kind of expression or action or behavior as a result of that kind of experience, okay? But, you're going to need to proceed slowly in order to see the knowledge. Like, yes, we want to get it done, but we got to do the work, so we got to get it done right. We're not trying to half-ass it, right? We're trying to get what we need to get. We're trying to heal what we need to heal so we can, be our most abundant and blessed selves, right? But don't force it. Like, let it come to you. Your soul will speak to you when it needs you to know the knowledge, okay? March 8th, Mercury will be in conjunction with Neptune. Moon will be on Pisces. We may receive messages that will encourage us to turn to the past to discover lost wisdom that will provide us with an idea to further pursue. So, you may either receive a message internally. You may receive a message from, say, one of your friends, colleagues, family, whatever. You may receive a message, like, say, by email, by text, or a phone call, but essentially you're going to get some kind of communication sent to you either from internally or externally that's going to, spark an idea, and it maybe even trigger like a memory. It may trigger a book that you read, music that or like some songs that you listened to, a video that you watched that had some core information in it that you need. Okay, so turn to the past to discover lost wisdom, because there's an idea there for you to further pursue, to build off of. Okay, like it's going to be worth your while. March 9th, Mars squares Uranus, Sun sextile Uranus, and Mercury will be in Aries. Okay, so Mercury is going to be in Aries until May 15th. This is where we're going to receive messages that will require us to initiate change in order to confront an issue. Okay, so whatever issue that is, whatever issue, conflict, situation you got going on in your life, in this time period, you're going to receive a message that's like, hey, I need to confront this issue. I need to tackle it head on. It needs to be over. It needs to be done with. I'm moving on with my life. Okay, that's what the Mercury in Aries is going to be like. Okay. However, also this day, not that time period, we will need to find order in chaos, as there will be energies that will create an obstacle in furthering the freedom in our lives. However, supporting us being our most authentic self by releasing the control the past has over us in order to find out who we truly are. Okay, so again, this is like a week of shadow work, essentially, which means going within, facing our shadows, facing the whys for our behavior, the whys for, when X happens, we do Y, right? If you're into algebra or something. But it's ultimately to find out who we truly are, to get rid of the ego, to get rid of the trauma responses, okay? To find out who we truly are and who we are truly meant to be, okay, in this lifetime. Okay, but there's going to be a little chaos, because you have one side, there's going to be energies that's going to create an obstacle for you in order to further freedom in your life. However, then you're going to have energies that's going to support you furthering freedom by, releasing the past. So it's going to be kind of like a yin and yang kind of thing. You're going to be like, oh, here's an obstacle that's going to stop me, but all obstacles can be overcome. Remember, it's a mindset, okay? You can overcome. It's on your path for a reason. You can overcome. And it just typically just takes you getting out of the self-imposed cage or self-limiting belief that you have, okay? To expand your consciousness, to expand your mind, to expand your perception, okay? And you're releasing, you are not your trauma. You are not your negative experiences. Yes, they've made you who you are, and you should embrace that, okay? Because you're magnificent, you're glorious, you're wonderful, you're lovely, right? A lot of people wouldn't have made it being you. A lot of people wouldn't have survived a day being you. Shit, some of the obstacles you went through would have killed somebody, or they would have completely let go. They wouldn't have had the motivation to keep going, but you did, right? That made you. It made you resilient. It built your strength. It taught you that no matter what came at you, you're going to get through it, and you're going to get through it. Not only are you going to get through it, but you're going to come out on top. It may have put a little hindrance there and a little bother, but whatever you lost, you can get back again. And not only will you get it back, but you'll get back more, right? All it does is let you know that you're unbreakable and that this isn't the end of your story. This isn't what breaks you, right? But then you have your eye on the prize. You know that you want freedom. You want to further the freedom in your life, and however that looks for you, and whatever your perception of freedom is, whether it be time, energy, monetary, but like I said, that's a 3D thing, love, whatever it is that you're wanting in your life for fulfillment and to get freedom in, to be able to pursue those areas. You're going to have that obstacle there, but you're going to be like, I'm done in this. I've done shit like this before. Nothing, And you're just going to release how the past plays in your life. You're not your negative experiences. You're not your trauma. Your trauma isn't your personality. Say if you went through domestic violence, that's not who you are. It's an experience you went through, maybe, right? But it's not your identity. It's not who you are. You're not forever and always the domestic violence victim, right? It was just an experience, an unfortunate experience that you did, but you came out. You learned some things. You had to, it was soul growth for you. And, it's unfortunate it happened, but you're not that label. That's not who you are, You're not a victim. It was just an experience. And you got through that experience, and you're on to the next ones. So you're releasing the past and what control it has of you, and trying to, cage you in and make you feel a certain way, or make you feel like, well, this happened to me, so that means that I'm sullied, or that I am unworthy of good things in this life. That's not true. It's not true at all. March 10th, Mercury sextile Pluto, and then we will have a super new moon in Aries. Aries, woo! This super moon, it's a new moon, it's time to plant seeds of wisdom and healing in order to assist in our manifestations growing, as we will receive the intuitive messages that support our transformation and what area we need to confront in order to initiate change. Like I said, it's all about healing, but also we're planting seeds of healing and of wisdom in order to keep our manifestations flourishing, to keep our manifestations growing, in order to keep ourselves at the vibration that we need to ensure that we're manifesting what we're wanting, to attract what we want in our lives and not what we don't want in our lives, right? So we're planting seeds of wisdom, we're planting seeds of healing, so that way they can grow, they can blossom, and we can come out like a healed person, right? And this is ultimately to support our transformation, okay? And like I said, your intuition's going to pick up on things that you need to initiate and confront, okay? You need to make changes. Like, hey, maybe I shouldn't eat that anymore because it doesn't make me feel good. It doesn't, it doesn't make me look good. Maybe I should drink more water instead of that cancerous pop. Maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't hang out with so-and-so because every time I get around them, I feel completely depleted of energy. It's probably because they're energy vampires, right? So maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe I should prioritize my needs, things like that. Areas that you need to initiate changes so that way you can keep going. You can keep manifesting what you're trying to manifest. But in order to manifest, like I said, you have to be a vibration. You have to be continuously evolving, continuously growing. You have to have the mindset focused. You have to have the positive internal dialogue, of this is my intention and this is how I'm going to water it and nurture it and make sure it comes to bloom when I need it to. Okay, so listen to your eternal spirit, your inner voice, to stand in your power and be logical and objective in your approach. Okay, don't get emotional about it. Be logical and objective. Okay, your inner voice isn't going to steer you wrong. Listen to it. And if you don't know how to listen to your inner voice, there's a book called The Intuitive Healer, forwarded by Carolyn Miss. You can find it on Amazon. It's a good book. It will teach you how to not only access your inner voice or your higher self, but it'll also tell you how to not command it, but how to essentially get your higher self to communicate messages in the way that you can understand them. Like, hey, higher self, when I'm in my dream state, give me a blue balloon if there's a dream invader, right? To give me a warning that, my consciousness has been tampered with, something like that. Or the blue balloon is your warning for anything bad or say any kind of omen, something like that. But it'll give you a way to provide instructions. There we go. Provide instructions to give to your higher self in order for you to be able to communicate messages to you that you will be able to understand and interpret. So, chakra is the crown chakra, but instead of going through just the crown chakra basics, I'm going to go through a spiritual awakening. Okay, the process for it. I'm going to attach the actual article for you if you want a further in-depth information on it, as well as it's my cited source. But it's psychologically based, so just know that. But it also mentions a Kundalini awakening as well and what you can experience. But I'm only going to cover one. Okay, so a spiritual awakening is an experience in which an individual's egos transcends their finite sense of self to transform the wider, infinite sense of truth or reality. Okay, so that just means so if you need to know your ego is our sense of self, or the I. Okay, it only has experiences with itself as separate from everything else. Okay, it's also referred to as our lower soul. Okay, so your ego is selfish, it's possessive, it just goes I am, I think, I have. It's not, it's one-sided. It doesn't encompass everything. It only views you. It only views you, and this is happening to me, and it's such a limited view, versus seeing the bigger picture, the bigger perspective, right? Okay, so spiritual awakening is having a noetic or mental experiences of a direct connection or merging with universal consciousness, or in other words, the divine, experiencing the divine. Okay? The experiences evoke a sense of deep inner knowing and understanding, remembering or unveiling of our true authentic self to experience peace, bliss, gratitude, abundance, and unconditional love. Remember, in the 5D, the higher consciousness, it's to reach unconditional love. It's to reach trust. It's to reach that gratitude attitude, because when you are grateful for what you have, the universe goes, oh, you're grateful for what I've given you. No matter how little you have, oh, you're grateful for what I've given you. Let me give you more now, okay? And, to reach that just overall peace in your life, the inner peace. Because once you have inner peace, nothing can disrupt that, okay? It can trigger a sense of transcendence of time and space with an increase to sensitivity physically and mentally to internal and external stimuli. So you may be very sensitive at this time, to internal or external stimuli. You must be going through some, experiences. And it's ultimately to provide deep healing, increase compassion, empathy, openness, trust, awareness, selfless service towards humanity, fulfilling your soul purpose, right? Doing what it is that you're supposed to do here in this world that helps humanity in some way, that helps humanity evolve, helps us reach to the one is all, helping us to reach that 5D consciousness, the higher level of consciousness. Okay? Now, you may feel heat or energy rising up the body, like around the spine from your head to your heart. Okay, you may feel like tingling or prickling sensations in the body, especially around the crown chakra, the heart chakra, or the third eye chakra. Like you might get headaches. Okay, like you'll feel pressure here, like around your brows, which is your third eye. You may feel like pressure here. You may feel it up here. You may feel it back here, or your heart chakra. Okay, you can also have this perceived like light emanating from your heart. Okay, and your head. Okay, like it's gonna sound really trippy, or like you're on like shrooms or something, but like you feel brighter. Like you're feeling like there's a light coming out of you, like coming out of your heart and out of your head. You're gonna like you'll feel that, like you'll feel yourself glow. If that makes sense. Like you get all warm, and you're gonna feel yourself glow. It can provide disruptions to the digestive system, so maybe this week be really easy on what you eat. Okay, you may have spontaneous bouts of involuntary shaking or trembling, you know, and this isn't to last like the whole day or nothing. It's like to last a few minutes or like an hour. Okay, it's not meant to like you're not gonna just keep shaking like you have Parkinson's. Okay, it's just like voluntary bouts of it. You may experience some paranormal-like experiences, like synchronicities, like angel numbers. You know, when something crazy happens, look at the time and then look up what that angel number means. Okay, say if you, all of a sudden there's like a murder of clothes, you might, that'd be pretty awesome. You just see like a bunch of clothes flying across you. But no, a murder of crows, write down the time. Like that's some kind of message being delivered to you. Okay? Or, you know, all of a sudden your lights flicker, or, you know, and there's not a power outage or anything. Nothing happens by coincidence. So know that. So write down the time and see what it's trying to, see what the message is for that time. Because angels can be talking to you that way, okay? You can have telepathic experiences where you're hearing, and this is going to sound schizophrenic, but there's definitely a difference. Hearing conversations, like telepathy, you can hear conversations, you can hear thoughts, okay? And believe it or not, humans actually have the ability to have that kind of ability. We don't access even like a fraction of our true potential of our brains. But it's definitely something that we can do, and we have the ability to do. We just haven't accessed that part of our brain, you know, from majority of people. But you can, you know, have this understanding or inner knowing of, like, say, your animals around you, what they want, okay? And I'm not just talking about just reading body language. You just know what they need. Or you're hearing music and you don't have any music on, and you know, it's a song. Write down the time you hear that song and look at the lyrics and see if there's any kind of message in there for you. Like I said, get you a dream journal. Write that stuff down. You'll be amazed. Like what gets uncovered for you. Okay, like what kind of truth is just being provided to you. Okay, or feeling a spiritual presence, say like the angelic presence, feeling the divine. Feeling the divine, just period. Any kind of divine. Not just angels, but you got your angels there. You've got your high vibrational ancestors. You've got your spiritual team, like your spirit guides, your guardian angel, things like that. You may feel them. Okay, and certain spiritual presences feel differently. You know, trying to explain. Like when I feel Athena, the goddess Athena, she feels very, I feel her at my back here, and she'll feel like bright, but not too bright, but like strong. It'll feel like I have something pressed up against my back, and it'll feel bright, not warm, bright, like a strong, firm light. Okay. When I feel like the Morgan, I can feel the intense power, or I can, and I feel a little coldness, or I'll see a shadow move, okay, because one of her aspects is the Phantom Queen. She can be in any crevice and any in-between place, and how you know it's her and not anything else would be she's a shadow that you can't see through. Okay, she's not a shadow. She's not like the shadow man, nothing like that. But you'll see, that's part of the she. The she can do that. The fae. They're essentially shadow people. There's different lore about that, which I've gone into that in different videos. I'm not going to do it now. But they're shadows that you can't see through. Okay, so there's that. When I feel the angels, it's more so I see them. I just see like an aura of bright light, like just an aura of bright light of a human, or something that would appear human. When I've seen, say, like Poseidon, he feels very itchy. He feels prickly, and he'll make you itchy, like he's absorbing the water out of your skin. That's how Poseidon feels. So things like that, you know, or say like if I feel like a negative presence or a low vibrational presence, it'll be like a prickling on one of my shoulders here, because it's telling me that something's trying to fuse with my aura. And your words hold power, and you can definitely go, I rebuke any lower vibrational entity, being, or energy from attaching or trying to immerse itself into my aura. I block, bind, and blind, and immediately return to sender. Okay, just stating that your words have power. You know, especially if you speak the truth and you live an authentic way, your voice definitely holds power. So just things like that. You can tell, like, if it's lower vibrational or high vibrational. Archangel Michael, I felt him before. He feels kind of like Athena, except it'll feel very. He feels like her, except his is firm and it encompasses more than her. It'll feel like she's standing next to me, and I'll feel it. You know, there'll be goosebumps on me. But with Archangel Michael, it'll just be like his whole form is standing behind me, and it'll feel bright, but it'll feel powerful, and you just feel safe. It's just that like safe feeling. So what you can do during a spiritual awakening to help navigate through the symptoms and the experiences is some yoga. Go out into nature, have some contact with nature, ground yourself. There's some guided meditations on that playlist that I told you guys about. Breathing exercises, you know, if it freaks you out a little bit. Some meditation so that you can access your inner voice. And pull some cards, and we're going to close this out. Spirit, what does the collective's higher self want them to know for this week during this spiritual awakening? What does the collective's higher self want them to be aware of during this spiritual awakening? What do they need to heed? Soar, you're getting ready to fly above all your obstacles and embrace life in the most magical way. So you've already passed all the tests, you've already passed all the obstacles. Now you're getting ready to have a second chance on life, which means it's like a reboot, a restart. You're getting to experience life in a different way, which means you're getting to live. Like you're getting to, like your senses are being refreshed. You're getting the small delights, the small bliss in life. You're getting a chance to have that. You've already went through all the bad. So align with your wholeness. You are not your illness, symptom, or habit. You, the person, are always whole and perfect. Again, like I said that. You are not your label. You are not your experience. Okay? Things happen to you, or happen for you, should I say. That's not who you are. It's just an experience. Okay? Let's see what kind of wounds. We had the overcritical wound, and then we had spiritual wounds. We'll do that. We'll do both of those. Spirit, what kind of critical wounds will the collective be facing this week when they face their shadow? What wounds around being critical of themselves? So wounds about being critical from yourself or on yourself. Wounds of being stimulating from being overly critical of yourself. Where those come from is your family, friends, and guides. So you're going to be facing your shadow of the things that your family, your friends, and the people who have guided you in your life that have made you overly critical of yourself, that gave you self-sabotaging behaviors and negative self-talk and the self-imposed cage and the limiting beliefs, okay, as well as a creative endeavor, okay? So stop being so harsh on yourself when you do things creatively. Stop being so harsh on yourself when you try things for, for the first time, okay? You're being overly critical of yourself when you're trying to create, okay? Practice makes perfect. What does Bob Ross say? They're not mistakes, they're happy accidents, okay? You learn by doing. You're here having a human experience, okay? You're not going to get it perfect the first time. You're here to learn and grow. That's what you're here to do, right? So stop being so critical of yourself. And the wounds that you have are going to be simulated from the people that you had around you in your life that were critical of you because they needed to heal parts of themselves. And some people were just critical of you because they were jealous. And they thought if they could plant that seed of doubt, you wouldn't surpass them. Spirit, what kind of spiritual wounds will the collective be looking at this week? With the Chiron energy, what kind of spiritual wounds will the collective be looking at this week? The deep spiritual wounds of Chiron for the collective spirit. Around prosperity, abundance, and success, okay? So whatever kind of wounds that you've had around money, around, feeling unworthy of money, or feeling like you couldn't afford something, or you denied yourself something nice because you felt like, oh, I don't deserve that, or, and I'm not saying like trying to go outside your means, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like always putting, no matter how much money you have, always putting that limitation on yourself. Because you're always in that consciousness of lack, which means that you feel like you'll never have enough. Like, I knew people like that. I was raised by people like that. Like, they feel like they never had enough, and that's why all their decisions that they made were based off that. They felt like they'd never have enough. No matter how much money they made, they had to go make more. And they never enjoyed it. They were miserable people. And that's why they made the choices they did. Because, like, they held money as the only value that they had. They didn't care about love. They didn't care about children. They didn't care about integrity. They didn't care about faith. They didn't care about, do unto others as you would want done to you. Money was their god, so to speak, and that's because of the wound of consciousness of lack. So, what else, dear? What other deep spiritual wounds? What other deep spiritual wounds does the collective have to heal from this week? With the Chiron retrograde, or not Chiron retrograde, the Chiron. Conscious steps, considered action, and looking forward. So we're going to be looking forward this week, but the deep spiritual wounds that you're going to have is like how you moved forward, the thought process that you had in making steps to move forward, and how to move forward with this deep healing. Okay, we'll do one more. Or two more. As well as the confusion brought about, new supportive connections, because all of this is so we can attract a high vibrational soul tribe. Okay, the people that we can have trust and unconditional love with. Okay, doesn't have to be your family. Doesn't, a lot of you had to leave your family, your friends, your lovers behind. Okay, because they were karmic. Okay, well, you are healing these deep wounds that would make you confused or fear any new relationships with other people. Again, that Juno retrograde energies of the trust and commitment issues that you have to heal from. So that's what we're healing. We're healing any kind of confusion, the fear, of anybody new coming into our life, any business partnerships, any, romantic partnerships that's coming into our life. We're healing that. That's something that we're going to look at. That you can't keep looking at every person as a repeat of your past. Now, there are lessons that you learn from the past, and knowing the red flags and things like that. But there's a difference in doing that and looking at every relationship or looking at every person through the lens of trauma, thinking that every person's going to hurt you or every person's that way. Every person's not that way. You may have had a path full of narcissists, and that's just because you're a healer and you had to teach other people how to break free of those kind of demonic forces, because narcissists are demons. They're walking demons. They feel nothing, and they will not and are incapable of being held accountable They're a void of darkness because they refuse to heal themselves. Like they're incapable of being accountable, they're incapable of change. Because they refuse to heal, and it's like they refuse to heal for so long. And let a narcissist be a good example for you of what happens if you don't evolve. When you are a cesspool of darkness like that, you attract low vibrational entities. Because you're Aries then, you have no spiritual protection when you're that way, and you can easily be possessed, especially because people like that typically have vices, like they drink, they do drugs, they're promiscuous, you know, they enjoy hurting others, right? They're easy for possession. So maybe in your life you've had to deal with essentially demons, and you had to learn how to heal and get away from them so you can teach other people how to heal and get away from them, because we're not in that paradigm anymore of where evil rules earth. We're switching to the 5D, which means evil's going to destroy itself. So you had to be one of the warriors to have to go through it, to break, to crack open, so you can let the divine in. So that way you can shed that light that you have, that you may feel this week, onto others and show them that there's a way out, and there's another way, that they don't have to go that way. Because we already know what happens to us if we don't evolve. We know, we have examples of exactly what happens to us if we don't evolve. Do you want to be like that? Do you want to live like that? Do you want to think like that? Do you want to literally self-sabotage and harm yourself? Because hurt people, and that's what those kind of people are. You know, they're emotionally stunted. They're essentially extremely damaged and unhealed children. So, yeah. We know what not to do, but we know what we have to do, which is to heal. We have to hold ourselves accountable. And that doesn't mean be negative to yourself or berate yourself internally. Remember, if you wouldn't say it to a child, you don't say it to yourself. Okay. All right, collective, I hope I was able to provide you some clarity today and what to look for this week. As always, it was a great and wondrous time. I hope you have a wonderful week. I hope you rest, take care of yourself, take some, prioritize your needs. You know, if you feel tired, sleep. If you feel hungry, eat. If you feel stressed, you need to go ground yourself. If you feel overwhelmed, you need to look at the things in your life and figure out what you need to cut back on. Okay? Initiate the changes you need to.